MATC, the holidays are here, and with the break so near, we'll be looking at what the students find so dear. Join us as we take a walk through the wonderland that is the Architectural Technology program and get ready to knock some great recipes to knock your family's socks off. Stay tuned for all this and more on this week's episode of MATC Now. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 5th episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, Nick Calvache. I hope you guys are staying warm out there. Joining me in the studio today is Jacob Odrowolski, Audio and Music Production Program student and returning MATC Now student. How have things been, Jacob?
Things have been great. Excited, looking forward to the holidays. Thanks for having me on your show.
Of course, it's our pleasure. When it comes to making music and working with your band, where would you say you derive your inspiration from?
Oh, that's a good question. I derive a lot of my inspiration from my teachers. They taught me so much, and I kind of owe it to them to continue my music career, continue their teachings, and see how far I can push things.
Right, almost like passing the torch of sort.
Correct. Yeah, almost like that. Yeah. The cool thing about the music is, you know, I feel like I got that music bug at a young age, so it's really hard to kick the music bug. So.
Oh, yes.
Once you got it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
Thank you so much for that, Jacob. Oftentimes, people forget how powerful the magic of music really is. Now to change gears, knowledge is not only in the mind and the music, but also written on paper in the form of tales. Knowledge can be a powerful tool, not only in the way we communicate with others, but how we use it. Today, we will check in with our field correspondent, Max Martinson, who is visiting the MATC bookstore to show us what it has to offer. Max?
Thanks, Nick. We're here at the MATC bookstore, where students can get all of the help, supplies, and the books that they need to succeed in their classes. Check back with us in a bit.
That's great, Max. We'll be sure to pop back in a moment. But first, student producer Lucius Burton takes us on a unique journey, exploring how one student's passion for making clothing inspires motivation for the challenges ahead.
The semester is coming to an end, and students are preparing for break and graduation. It's been a busy few months, but many have balanced school, responsibilities, and the passions that keep them going. Here on campus, students continue to make meaningful memories through creativity, events, and community. This is another Student Passion Report showcasing a student here at MATC who creates memories of confidence, self-expression, and growth with her own apparel clothing line.
I got into this hobby for crafting in 2020 when COVID happened. There wasn't a lot of things to do, so I watched TikTok, YouTube videos, and I just started getting interested in just crafting. I honestly enjoyed doing it just because for mental health and relaxation, it gives me a peace of mind just to get away from everything. During the school year, obviously everyone's stressed out, especially during midterms and during finals. So when I find myself just really studying a lot or just feeling like I want to give up on school or just want to stop studying it altogether, I just kind of set time for myself each day or each weekend to do craft where my mind is just completely blank from school and just being able to focus on the things I enjoy, I love. I love making different apparel for different groups and knowing that they're wearing that stuff or just even if they're not wearing it, they're seeing it in their closet and seeing those memories when they did wear it with their group. Me and my mother actually started this brand, this idea about 2 years ago, and then we actually put it into effect last year. Our brand is called Simple Souls. It started with me. I'm really big into mental health. I really like wearing different apparels that resonate with me, and I know talking with my friends or families, they like to wear different clothing items as well that has a meaning on it. So. One advice I would give to students if they ever felt burnt out, I mean, crafting isn't for everyone, but just finding a hobby or something they enjoy where their mind can go completely blank and just being able just to focus on that one thing, even if it's for 30 minutes. I mean, sometimes I'm only able to get 30 minutes in a day or just that week, and honestly, that brings joy to me.
When school and life gets busy, it helps to be creative in your own way. Do what you love and let it show. Life is about finding your passion, and once you find it, go after it. This has been another Student Passion Report.
Wow, another great Student Passion Report. What a great reminder to start the week that no matter how stressed things get, never be afraid to set aside some time to do what you love to do to unwind.
Agreed. Starting a t-shirt company last year is rather impressive. And as much as I enjoy my shirt, I would rather have that one instead.
Now it seems Max has more amazing stories to share about our MATC bookstore. Max?
Thanks, Nick. As I mentioned earlier, we're here at the MATC bookstore, and today I have one of the bookstore employees with me, Gerald Schwager. Gerald, how's it going today?
Good. About yourself, Max?
Doing very good. Thank you so much for inviting us in here. And now, as an employee of the bookstore, can you explain to me a little bit about what you guys do here and what services you provide?
Sure. So we're going to be your stop for all your textbook, kit, and supply needs. You can order your textbooks online at bookstore.matc.edu or come down to the bookstore and we'll help you in person. If you come in person, you'll walk up to this blue table here, and we're going to ask you for your class schedule.
Yep.
You'll show us that. Also bring your student ID for checkout. Here we have English 195.
Yep.
And we also have Math 107. These are two of the most common courses that students take when they first start with us.
Makes sense. And do you guys do used books here, or is it all new ones?
It's a good question. So some of our books do come used, but not all of them. They are also the first to leave the shelf. So if you want to get a used book, come earlier in the semester when we start.
Makes sense. And then do you guys take the books back when we're done with them, when I don't need them anymore?
I'm glad you brought that up. So hang on to your receipt because there'll be a printed date on there to get a full refund if you decide that you don't need your book.
Yep.
Otherwise, we offer book buyback at the end of each semester where you can bring your books and sell them for cash.
Very cool. And MATC is a technical school, so we may need more than just the textbooks. Do you guys offer supplies for those classes that need more than that?
We sure do. So we have different kits and supplies available. So for our nail program, we have our nail kits here. Our culinary and baking program utilizes uniforms as well as supplies as well. So here we have our knife kit for our culinary students.
Very cool.
We have our culinary uniform here, the scale that goes along with it. We also offer the hats and jackets as well as pants. For our architecture students, we have our drafting kits here. And we also have our dental lab kits for our dental lab students.
Very cool. So basically what you're telling me is that I can get everything I need no matter which class I'm in.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. And let's say I need some more basic supplies than specific ones for the courses. Can I get those here at the bookstore as well?
You sure can. So we have a variety of different supplies to pick from. We have calculators there in the corner. We have our binders here. One of your books needs a binder.
Yep.
We have our quick study guides here. Anatomy flashcards for our anatomy students. Well, we also have headphones, notebooks, water bottles, lanyards, pens, pencils, Post-it notes, erasers, you name it, we got it.
Basically everything you can need, right? I saw back there you have like even locks for the lockers. I also saw that in here you guys have a bunch of MATC swag. What other items do you guys have here besides just these sweaters?
Yeah, so we are incorporating our new logo on all of our new merchandise, and we have all different things to pick from. We've got beanie hats, we've got bags, we have blankets, we have our windbreakers, t-shirts, quarter zips. Something for everybody here.
Very nice. So you got blankets over here. It is getting to be that time of the year after all. I also see that over here you guys have some little teddy bears for graduation. This would make a great gift for those upcoming graduates.
Oh, it sure would, Max.
And I saw when I got in here that you guys have a bunch of boxes over here on these tables with a bunch of black clothing in them. Can you kind of explain why these are all over here?
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought this up. So we have our cap and gown distribution starting on December 1st through the 12th. Students need to apply for graduation first.
Yep.
Once they come down, they're going to show us their student ID, and we're going to check them off the list. Once they're checked off the list, we're going to hook them up with a cap and a gown here. And get them ready for graduation.
Very cool. I think we're getting ready for graduation. What time of the day can students come down to the store?
Absolutely. So we start selling textbooks on January 6th. We're going to be open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And then Fridays we're open from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m.
All right. Well, Gerald, thank you very much. I think I got some studying to do, so I'm going to put this on. I'm going to get started on that. And Nick, back to you guys in the studio.
That's great, Max. It's nice to see a place where students can stop to get their school books, as well as a place to stop by and get some nice school apparel. Now, did you know that Wisconsin has a state cocktail? Well, lawmakers decided it was the brandy old fashioned, and MATC Funeral Services alumni Marco Canestra shows us how to make one that is to die for. But before that, student producer Gigi Gray takes us on a journey through the Architectural Technology program, showing us that these bricklayers really have a strong foundation built for their futures.
Since we're talking about old-fashioned Black Friday, we're gonna make Wisconsin old-fashioned. So I used to bartend before I became a funeral director, and I always enjoyed bartending on Thanksgiving. Nobody else ever seemed to want to work on Thanksgiving. They enjoyed spending time with their families. Not that I didn't, but by 7 o'clock or so, I was kind of over it. I got our tumbler here, and in the tumbler, we need a nice thick piece of orange. Something like that, a little bit bigger than you would normally to garnish. And then by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you start getting people coming in. And we were the only bar in the area that was open in this portion of Wauwatosa near the zoo. And you don't get your regulars then on those nights because they might be with their families and stuff, but you do get the real drinkers or the people that are just kind of burnt out, spending time with family and people in town visiting. And then we're gonna put 2 of the raw sugar cubes in. The reason to use sugar cubes over simple syrup is the granulation. When you muddle these together, it's gonna help macerate the orange. We're gonna put a couple dashes of that Angostura bitters. So we'd open up the bar, and by midnight or so, now I'm also getting service industry people. I'm also getting the people that are on their way to work Black Friday, because back then Black Friday used to be a big thing before Amazon and all that stuff. And then we're gonna put 3 Luxardo cherries. These are a little smaller than the normal maraschino cherries, so typically you'd put 2 if you were using the other kind. These ones we can put 3 in there. And then at the time it was still my job to clean the bar, so by about maybe 3:30 or so I'm done, and make a little coffee, because every job has to have a coffee maker somewhere. And then we're gonna muddle these all together and just get it nice and mashed up. We're gonna grab some ice. By the time, I'm on my way home, I can stop at the mall and get all my Black Friday shopping done nice and early, because all the crazy people that went at midnight, they're gone, but the people that wake up to go at 5, 6 in the morning, they haven't arrived yet, and it was just a ghost town at the mall. And then we're just gonna do a quick 6 count on the brandy. And then we're gonna top it off with our sour, which in this case is Squirt. Just give it a quick stir. You still wanna leave all those muddled ingredients at the bottom, but just to blend the two. That's good.
What is architecture? This is architecture. It's the bigger-than-life art that catches your eye and you can't help but gaze in admiration of its beauty and design. Here in MATC's Architectural Technology program, students get the education and hands-on experience needed to transform design concepts into buildable plans and ensure that they are executed properly.
The Architectural Technology program is an area of study that brings architecture, building technology, and building construction together in one place.
That's Daniel Enyang. He's the lead instructor and department chair of the Architectural Technology program. He makes sure that students are equipped with the knowledge and experience that they will need to be successful in the field.
We're teaching you to be an architectural technician. And what does that mean? You are going to be the link between the tradesperson, carpenter, the electrician, the plumber, the bricklayer, and the architect, the one that does the fancy drawing and has all these ideas. They're going to draw it and they're going to pass it on to you and say, okay, make it happen, or make sure this works. And that's where your role as a technician.
Students like Ethan Mawa and Elizabeth Wojtek say the hands-on experience is critical to their success.
All of the stuff that we use in the classroom and in the labs, it's what architectures will use when they're doing work. So it's like we're learning to become architectures instead of just learning what it is.
Now when I walk into buildings, I find myself kind of pausing and looking at every little detail and like what kind of work has gone into the building, and seeing what's thought about and what's done, and taking in something grand is fun to like break down and understand little pieces of it.
From learning what builds are and how they work, those squiggly lines that convert into working drawings, bringing concepts to life by utilizing professional-grade software, the Architectural Technology program here at MATC gives you the tools you need not to only succeed in the classroom, but also in the field.
So architectural technology is about architecture, but it's about understanding how buildings work and how you can make them better.
Now there's a program reaching new heights. I'm floored by the amount of support our students here receive by such wise and caring instructors. Now joining us in the studio to give us a little more insight on another way to make some great memories for the holidays is Simone Smith, Coordinator, Donor Stewardship, and Board Relations for the MATC Foundation. How are you, Simone?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very much for asking. Now that is a really long title, how did you get into the role here at MATC?
So I got into the role here at MATC by seeing the job posting. I applied, and most of my fundraising experience thus far has been centered upon grants. And I thought that this role would really help me be more well-rounded and being able to interface with one-on-one with individual donors. And so this opportunity came across, and I applied, and I got the job.
Congratulations. For our viewers out there who don't know, what exactly is the MATC Foundation?
Yes, so the MATC Foundation is a separate entity from MATC. We work in conjunction with the college as its philanthropic partner. It's been around since 1979, and all we do is raise money for student scholarships.
Okay, very cool. What would you say then are some of the issues that you guys are trying to solve?
Definitely removing barriers to access. Finances can be huge for students accessing higher education, whether that be the trades, whether that be a 4-year degree, 2-year degree, no matter what. Finances are a huge barrier. And so at the MATC Foundation, we remove financial barriers to make education accessible for all.
That's cool. Very cool. Where would you say that the money goes, and who does it help?
The money definitely goes to students. And we support a variety of students in different pathways, such as healthcare, such as business, as well as things like audio and TV production.
I got a couple questions for you. What resources are often given to the college?
So we work very closely with the MATC Foundation or MATC Financial Aid Department to collaborate on students' financial aid packages to see what we can do to support students.
Cool. What scholarships are you guys running right now?
So there are a lot of scholarships that we offer. They all have different deadlines. But they will be published in the week ahead when the deadline is approaching. And then we also have the general application, which should be available on our website and in the week ahead at the end of January for next school year.
For next school year. I'll have to look into that, yeah.
What would you say was a moment where you saw the positive impact of what was being done, and you just had a moment where you went, wow, this is really changing students' lives? Could you share an experience?
Yes. So last spring, I attended the nurse pinning ceremony, and there it was at least 100 nurses being pinned. And so this is kind of their introduction to the rest of the healthcare community, as this nurse has completed all their academic requirements. Here they are. It was very inspiring, not just from an academic perspective, but because we have a donor, a couple actually, who have their own nursing scholarship, and seeing them in the audience, and then knowing that they helped a student get to that point was very inspiring.
Nice.
What's the biggest change you've seen in the MATC community since you've started?
I've definitely seen a lot more students. If you look at I've only been here a year, by the way, but if you look at the trajectory of students coming back to college, it's more women, and there are more people of color coming back to college, and I think that's the biggest change I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, it's a good change.
Absolutely. It's a really important change. Do you guys host any events where people can gather and donate to switch subjects?
Yes, we do. So twice a year we have our Blue Tender fundraiser. So Blue Tenders are where we have board member volunteers or famous alumni where they stand up for 2 hours and they serve alcoholic beverages at the top floor of the Pfister at the Club Blue. And that's twice a year, one in October and one in March. So there's one coming up in March.
Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing all that.
Yeah.
And thanks again for your time and sharing all that awesome information with us.
Thank you.
Of course. Smells like Chef Rahni went ahead and made us something amazing while we were all ears with Simone. Chef Rahni, take it away.
Thanks, guys. With Thanksgiving just a few days away, you may be struggling to come up with some dishes for your hungry friends and family. So today we'll be preparing corn casserole while learning some history about it as well. Corn casserole is the perfect side dish for your Thanksgiving tablescape, and this simple casserole will wow your guests while saving on stress in the kitchen as well. For our ingredients, I've gathered melted butter, whole milk, 2 eggs, green onions for garnish, cornbread mix, whole corn, sweet corn, and fried onions for a garnish as well. And for the items, you will need a mixing bowl, a spoon, and a casserole dish, and also some oil to spray your pan. Now let's get started with the most important thing, the corn. First, we're gonna open up our can of creamy sweet corn. This is going to add the right amount of sweetness to your dish without going overboard. The cultivation of the corn began with the indigenous peoples of what is now the United States over 9,000 years ago. That's wild. Now we will open up the whole kernel corn. The trick with kernel corn is you just want to make sure you drain all your juices out so it just doesn't make your dish all soggy and nasty. And now for your dairy. These give the mix a nice moisture and it helps bind everything together. And now we're just going to add in our 2 eggs. 1, 2. Made a mess there. And these 3 wet ingredients were not introduced to corn casserole until the Civil War, when it became a normal side dish for Southern cuisine. Now we can mix in our cornbread mix. Just give it a nice stir. Before this miraculous box mix was introduced, yellow or white corn meal was used. It wasn't until Jiffy released its wildly popular corn muffin mix in the 1950s that we had the modern version of a corn casserole. Now that everything's all mixed, we're just going to spray our pan with oil just to make sure your casserole doesn't stick and become stubborn when everything's done. Just gonna pour that in. Doesn't that look delicious? Once dinner time is nearing, place the dish in the oven, preheated to 350 degrees, and bake until your top is golden brown or until you stick a toothpick in and it comes out clean. Just gonna add it in our oven. It should look something like this. Ooh, I wish you guys could smell how good this is given. Very corny. You could put it right on the table like this, but if you want to add a little razzle dazzle, you can, and I'm going to be adding both the fried onions and the green onions. And there you have it. This easy home-style recipe offers a great option for Thanksgiving dinner without adding too much onto your plate. I hope you guys have a lovely Thanksgiving, and thank you. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that, Chef Rahni. That corn casserole is sure to have my family gathering popping this year. And speaking of popping, let's pop in with Nick to see what he's got for us this MATC Minute.
Later tonight, MATC's men's basketball team takes on Waubonsee Community College. The game runs from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And admission is free for students with a valid Stormer ID. Go Stormers! Head on over to the Oak Creek Main Atrium to get some free popcorn and check out upcoming student events Tuesday, November 25th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Have some time between classes for a brain break? Room A129 on the MEC1 campus is the place to go. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday, November 25th, Student Life is offering access to free games with 8 controllers and 2 screens. All MATC campuses and facilities will be closed November 27th and 28th for the holiday. Class is back in session Monday, December 1st, though, so don't go too far. For more information on dates and times of these and all other events happening around campus, check out matc.edu/events.
Thanks, Nick. It's always a blessing when campus is calm before break. But before we check out for vacation, let's take a trip down memory lane by revisiting student producer Chris Rayner's Gem KE.
I'm student producer Chris Rayner here at Cathedral Square Park, and this is another hidden Gem KE. The Holiday Lights Festival is an annual event in Milwaukee. One of the most magical sights during the event is the Community Spirit Park, held in Cathedral Square. In the heart of Cathedral Square transforms into a festive forest of more than 100 evergreen trees, all with unique and artfully decorated ornamentation from area schools and organizations. You can also send your wish list straight to the North Pole with Santa's mailbox. Just include a return address with your letter and you'll receive a personalized reply back. No postage required. Be sure to discover the magical singing tree, which twinkles in real time to the sound of music, singing, and clapping. If you want to experience this larger-than-life light display, make sure to swing by Cathedral Square Park. Don't forget your hat and gloves. I'm student producer Chris Rayner, and this has been another hidden Gem KE.
Wow, looks like I'm going to have to add that to my Thanksgiving weekend bucket list. How about you guys?
I have to get my coat ready.
I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to say thank you to both of you for appearing on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity. Thank you.
Of course. It's been a real pleasure and treat to have both of you aboard.
Appreciate it.
And of course, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for joining us for our 5th episode of MATC Now. Have a great break and tune in Monday, December 8th for our final episode of the semester. Happy Thanksgiving from MATC Now.